What's up, guys? So in this video we're going to pick up where we left off last week, and we're going to continue working on our case studies. Now there's one main thing that we're going to work on today, and that's adding this gallery to our case studies. Most of the styles are going to stay the same and going to be very similar to the blog that we have and we've already styled. So we're just going to be adding a gallery on top of that. And the second thing is going to be going ahead and taking a look at our site in Safari, because there's this really weird bug in our blog index where we have a flex wrap set on the div that contains all of our blog posts. So I'm going to show you what the bug is, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix it. So let's go ahead and jump into the project right now. Alright, so I've got our server up and running here, and you can see our web page here. This is the case study for me at the moment. And we've gotten all this overview done, and we've gotten the individual page like header set up and all that stuff. So now the only thing we need to do on these pages is pretty much style the content that's going to go on it. And I've been thinking about how I want to go and style that content and what I want it to look like. And I'm thinking I kind of want to keep the same styles for all of the copy that is on our blog posts. But the one main difference, or one main thing I want to add, is I want to add this like gallery wrapper, so I can have multiple images grouped together in one spot. And I just want to be able to make it look nice when we have more than one image on any point in this case study. So I have put a couple images in a folder here on the desktop. So if you click into this, I've got it's case studies, and then it's my case study name right there, and then I have 4 images here. I want to use this as the background image for the case study that you see here. So I want to change this background image out, and then these 3 images we're going to use as a gallery. So let's go ahead and jump over to our HTML here and put some stuff in. So we're going to go to case studies and then go to my case study, and after this HR and after this div, sorry, not after the div, after the HR, before the closing tag here, we're going to go ahead and add a new div, and we're going to give it a class of gallery. And we can come down here and end this. And now in here, we're going to have 3 image tags. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. And these are going to be image tags. And we're going to give them a class of we don't need to give them a class right now, actually. We'll add that in a minute. What we're going to do is we are going to set the source. So we'll do this right here. And let's see, it's going to be curly brace, site.base URL. And then closing curly braces, / assets, images, and then it's going to be case studies, the name of the case study. So this is Zachary R. Newton, and then it's going to be / and then the name of each file. So before we go ahead and finish putting in the names of the files, what we need to go ahead and do is open up our assets right here. Go to images, and I'm just going to drag this and drop it right in there. Alright, so now we need the names of these files. So over here, the first file is going to be desktop-v .jpg. And then the next one is going to be mobile-v.jpg. And then the next one is just going to be the logo.png. And we're going to go ahead and save that for now. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so now we got 3 images right here, okay? All right, so to go ahead and get this image in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to layouts and case study, and we're going to remove all of this right here, and we're gonna replace that with a curly brace, page dot featured image, just like that, and save it. And we're gonna actually go ahead and remove this /. All right, so back in our actual case study, what we need to do is add a new line in our front matter, and we're gonna call this featured image, just like that. And then what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're just gonna put the path to that image in right here. So it's gonna be /assets /image /case studies /Zachary R. Newton /Zachary R. Newton.jpg. Save that, and then now when we come over here and refresh this, you'll see it has changed to the new image. Now we need to go ahead and style some of this stuff here. So let's go to our SAS folder and layouts. And we're going to click on case study. All right, so now inside of case study, there's just a couple styles we're going to add after our HR here. So the first one we're going to go ahead and add is, well, we're just going to grab our images. And we want all of our images to be display block. We want them to have a width of 100%. We're going to give them a height of auto. We are going to give them some margin. So I'm going to have the margin be 2M on the top and bottom and auto on the left and right. And then we're going to give it an overflow of hidden. And we are going to give it a border radius. The border radius is going to be 3 pixels. And we are going to go ahead and give it a cursor of zoom in. All right, so let's go ahead and save this and see what everything looks like now. Why is this? Save. Okay. Refresh. And all right, there we go. That's 100% of its wrapper right here. So now we need to go ahead and we're going to style that gallery that we put these images in. So we're going to grab our gallery and we're going to go ahead and say display of flex. We want the flex direction to be row. We are going to want the align items to be center. Justify content is going to be space around. And flex wrap is going to be wrap. And then we're going to give it a border radius of 3 pixels as well. 3 pixels. And let's give it a width of 100%. So that's going to be 100% of its parent container. And we're going to give it a height of auto as well. And then we're going to give it a little bit of padding of 5 pixels. So let's save this. Let's come over here and refresh and see what this looks like now. Not much different. Okay. So let's go ahead and give the images that are inside of the gallery div some styles. So we're going to grab all of the images inside of any gallery and we're going to give it a flex of 1, 1 auto. We're going to give it margin of 0.5%, and let's give it a width of 25%, and then we're going to give it some box shadow. So box shadow is going to be 0 pixels, 2 pixels, 5 pixels, 0 pixels, and then an RGBA of 0.35, and we're gonna say and hover. We're going to change the box shadow just a little bit. So let's just copy all this real quick. It's going to be 0, then we're going to say 5, 15, and I'm actually going to make this 0.20, and I want it to move up just a little bit, so we're going to write transform translate y, and it's going to be -2 pixels. So let's save that, and then now let's come over here, and when this finishes regenerating, we will go ahead and refresh. All right, there we go. So now we have these 3 images all in here. The hover state works, and you'll see it's got the zoom in cursor. So when you click on one of these, well, nothing happens because I haven't actually added the lightbox function in that I have been talking about. I think I mentioned it a couple times in this series, but when that JavaScript file gets added to this site, when you click on these, it'll pull it up in a lightbox automatically, and that's a different product of mine that I'm working on that I will be making some videos on soon, and I'll be making some tutorial videos on how to use it. But just know for now that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using the Lightbox project that I'm working on to pull these up in Lightbox whenever they're clicked on. Okay, so I kind of want to change this just a little bit, and what I want to do is I want to be able to add like a priority to one or multiple of these images. So to do that, what I'm going to do is in our HTML here for the case study, we don't need that one anymore. I'm going to give, let's see, I'm going to give this last image, which is the logo, I'm going to give it a class of low. And then this image here, which is the mobile version, which I like a little more, I'm going to go ahead and give it a class of high. And then now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to style this low and high. This is going to be really easy. So if we come back to here, what we're going to do is we are going to give any image with the class of high, we are going to give that a width of 35%. And then we're going to give any image with the class of low a width, if I can spell width, of 15%. And if we save that, when this finishes, let's take a look at it. And then now, so this should be bigger than it is right now, and this should be smaller than this is. Perfect. So now this has the high priority, and this has the low priority. So that is what I wanted to accomplish in here right now. And like I said earlier in this video, all the copy, all the text that we're going to be putting in here, it's going to use the same styles that we have over in our blog, just like this. So the main difference is we have a gallery for our images, so we can have more than just one big image in one spot of this website, and that's the biggest difference that I wanted to make between the case study and the blog after going through just like my previous designs and sketches and everything that I had thought about for the case studies, I think that's going to work the best for what I got. But speaking about the blog, there is a little bug in this, not in this page actually, it's in the blog index page, and I want to show you how to fix it. Now, this blog is not in Chrome, but I'll show you where it is. First of all, let's go ahead and let's duplicate some of these posts. So I'm going to copy, paste, 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 and now let's go ahead and refresh and see what happens. Okay, so right now you see in Chrome, this is working exactly how I wanted it to, where, it goes across and then it breaks and goes down. And whenever you shrink this, you see they never end up hitting each other, but it just works. It works how it's supposed to, it works how it was meant to. But there is a problem. In Safari, if we go to localhost port 4000, whenever Safari loads, I thought you were supposed to be fast, bro. Why are you not fast? There we go. Okay, localhost port 4000. So when we go here, ready? This is going to get really weird. When we click on the blog, ready for it? Ready for it? It's all in a single column, and it's literally breaking after every single post, and that's not what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to look like this. But you want to see something even funnier? In the Safari technology preview, which is like Safari's version of Chrome's developer tools, if I go to localhost port 4000 and go to the blog, look at this. It's exactly how it's supposed to look. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix this issue in Safari. And it's a pretty simple issue. It's just weird and pretty unnecessary that we even have to deal with it. So let's close these out and let's go find our layouts. Not our layouts. Is it our layouts? Yes, our layouts, and then our blog dash index. And then we need to go to the blog container. Okay, so in this blog index wrapper right here, this is where we're telling the flex wrap to wrap. And this is kind of what's telling it to wrap after every single one, but that's not actually the case. It's what's causing it to wrap after every single one is in here. So for whatever reason, when you set, how should I say this? When you set just a max width or whatever like this in Safari, it changes the flex basis to auto, and we don't want it to be that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give this a flex basis of 320 pixels, just like it's a max width of 320 pixels up here. This is going to be a flex basis of 320 pixels. And then down here with this max width changes, I'm going to say flex basis 100% as well. So now when we save this and we come back to Safari and we refresh, now that we refresh, look at that. Everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. Now, I don't really know why Safari does that. I don't know, like, if someone messed up there or what, but it does do that for whatever reason, and I've only seen it happen in Safari, so, and not even in their developers version of Safari, which is even more confusing because you would think this would show any problem there is, but for whatever reason it doesn't show that problem in here. But if we come back to Chrome and refresh this page, everything still works fine. We didn't change anything else anywhere. We just fixed this problem in Safari. So if you were having this issue or you noticed this issue and you were saying flex wrap and it was just wrapping too soon, check your flex basis, especially if this is happening in Safari. That is most likely where the problem will lie. So beyond that, that is all I wanted to go over today. We went ahead, we fixed this bug in Safari. In our case studies, we have gone ahead and added the styling, which is just this gallery that we wanted to add here. We're not adding more styling to each individual case study because it's just going to consist of text and images mostly, maybe a video, and the video is going to have the same styles as our images. Like our big 100% width images, it's going to have the same style as that. So there is no difference there between the blog and the case study aside from this gallery. So the next thing that we're going to work on in next week's video is we are going to work on displaying the case study on the index page, and that's going to be setting up that staggered desktop preview and mobile preview of the project, along with just a little description on the opposing side. And then on the next one down, it's going to be completely reversed, and we're going to have the description first, and then it's going to be the mobile and desktop preview of the project. So that is what we're going to be working on in the next video, but that is going to wrap this one up for today. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Next week we are going to pick back up on our case study index page. We are going to be working on how we will display each case study on that page, but we will not be using real content. It's just going to be filler content. It's kind of outside of the scope of this video for you to sit there and watch me add in my own stuff into each of these case studies. So we're just going to be going over how we're going to style it, and then when I finish this series, I will be adding in my actual case studies into those templates that we made. So that's going to be it for today. I will see you next week in the next video. Have a great day. I think that's good, mister.